Please welcome our next speaker, Paul Sabourin. Thank you. All right, get them all out right now and then we'll fucking start this thing. Because I've got some truths to tell. Genius. Vision. The ability to perfectly encapsulate complex thoughts and emotions and express them concisely through art, without the use of language. So many of us strive for it. Few achieve it. Those who do are born with the ability. What is this, fucking children's theater? Are you just one huge goddamn speak and spell? The red team goes. All right. I didn't want to invoke this card, but for my birthday, please contain your shit for the next 6 to 7 minutes. Okay. Thank you. Genius. Vision. The ability to perfectly encapsulate complex thoughts and emotions and express them concisely through art, without the use of language. So many of us strive for it. Few achieve it. Those who do are born with the ability, and the rest of us can merely watch from a distance and admire. Perhaps learn something? Who can say? I want to talk to you tonight about the greatest moment in 1970s rock music history. To do that, I need to talk to you about the Eagles song, Hotel California. To do that, I need to talk to you about the Eagles album, Hotel California. To do that, I need to talk to you about the Eagles. The Eagles, technically just Eagles, but universally referred to with the definite article, are an American rock band formed in California in 1971. They were one of the most successful music acts of the 70s. And in their most prominent years, between their debut album Eagles in 1972 and their breakup 8 years later following their 1979 album The Long Run, they had 5 #1 singles, 6 #1 albums, and won 6 Grammy Awards and 5 American Music Awards. Their 1976 album, Their Greatest Hits, 1971 through 1975, still holds the record for the best-selling album of all time in the United States at 38 million copies and counting. Worldwide, as of 2020, the album has sold over 45 million copies, making it the world's best-selling greatest hits album and 3rd best-selling album of all time. The band's sound, influenced by rhythm and blues, soul, bluegrass, and rock bands such as the Byrds and Buffalo Springfield, exemplifies what came to be known as California rock. A softer-edged rock and roll variant, tinged with elements of country music and even folk. The band members also became entwined with and influenced by the community of musicians who lived and gathered in the Laurel Canyon area of Los Angeles at the time, including such luminaries as Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, Joni Mitchell, Jackson Browne, Linda Ronstadt, and Harry Nilsson. In early 1976, the lineup at the time, Glenn Frey, Don Felder, Randy Meisner, Don Henley, and newest addition, Joe Walsh, began recording their 5th studio album. Between March and October of that year, they laid down a collection of songs that drifted further from their original, much stronger country music roots and toward a harder, more electrified rock sound. The album evolved into somewhat of a concept album, shot through with themes of loss of innocence, the cost of naivete, and the band's own relationship with the perils of fame and excess. This was reflected in such tracks as Victim of Love, The Last Resort, Wasted Time, and Life in the Fast Lane. On December 8th, 1976, the completed album Hotel California was released. Its themes of weary sadness and wary bitterness were best encapsulated on Side 1, Track 1, the album's title single. It was released as the album's 2nd single, and at 6 minutes and 30 seconds long, it was a risky release, being far longer than songs most radio stations at that time generally played. But the song's length works to its advantage, taking its time to set the scene, beginning starkly with bass and ethereal 12-string guitar. But I am here to talk to you tonight about the greatest moment in 1970s rock music history. And this guitar solo is not that moment. That moment comes slightly earlier during the song's final verse. You have already heard it here during this presentation tonight. It is this drum fill, played by Don Henley at the 4-minute and 20-second mark. Let's listen to that one more time. Gorgeous, masterful, essential. Surrounded by 6.5 minutes of consummate musicianship in one of the strongest musical arrangements of its day, Don Henley beheld the space between the end of one line and the start of another. From the infinitely possible choices of patterns and textures to fill this chasm, to musically evoke the desperation and longing for passage back to the place he was before, To smell again whatever the fuck colitis is. Don Henley made a bold, decisive, and dazzling choice. One single hit. One tom-tom. No floor tom. No booming bass drum to ground everything. Fuck you, crash and ride cymbals. You are not needed here. Eat shit, snare drum. You would only make things worse. Just you, my friend, my stalwart companion, there at my right hand, just as you should be. Speak but once, and then be still. Henry David Thoreau said, "As you simplify your life, the laws of the universe will be simpler. Solitude will not be solitude. Poverty will not be poverty, nor weakness weakness. Inside each of us is a Don Henley, Hotel California, single tom drum fill. If only we have the strength to listen." Thank you. Please welcome our final fake TED Talk speaker, Jonathan Coulton.
Well, that was weird, Paul. Hi, everybody. My name is Jonathan Coulton. I know you know who I am, but I'm going to introduce myself anyway. I, of course, am the founder and the chief researcher at the ISSSR, which, of course, is the Institute for the Serious Studies of 70s Rock. As I'm sure most of you know, we have a three-part mission. Number one, to ruminate. Number two, to illuminate. And finally, to ingroovinate. And we do this by, ruminating as we listen to 70s rock music, and then we illuminate by publishing our findings, and then, the ingroovinate is to hopefully engender a deeper appreciation of the... I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted, to be honest. I'm not sure how this happened, but, well, I'll just say it. Tonight, I was going to talk about the Eagles. Yeah, I know. Technically just Eagles. And specifically about the song Hotel California. So, I mean, here we are. You would think that this is an easily avoidable problem, but apparently not. It's like showing up at a party and you're wearing the same dress as somebody else. And I apologize that, I really don't want to waste anyone's time. I did spend a lot of time on this presentation. putting in all the clips to make it fun and choosing the rainbow theme. I hope that I know there certainly would be some overlap in the things that Paul talked about and what I will talk about, but I hope that there are still some insights there that are worth your time. So with your indulgence, I will just continue and I'll skip over the parts that are, too similar. Sure. So what is it that makes the song Hotel California so great? It's 12 strings, stark desert setting. I'm just going to skip past some of the stuff I know Paul has covered, so I'm just going to go past. Yeah. It's going a lot faster than I thought. Here's the kicker. I mean, in my opinion, the most important part of the song is actually drum fill. I was going to make a 420 joke here, but now I'm not really in the mood. And we'll just skip past all of this. Yep. You know what? This is bullshit. No, this is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit. I gave him my presentation so that he could load it on this computer. There's no way. And I'm sorry, I know you came here for 3 TED Talks, and now you're basically just getting 2, and that's not fair to anyone. And I'll be honest, when I first started this talk, I was a little embarrassed because Paul had just done pretty much exactly the same thing that I was going to do. And I was feeling a little self-conscious about the fact that maybe you were going to think that my ideas were not original ideas. But quite honestly, the longer I talk up here, the angrier I get, and I'm really starting to wonder some things. Listen, certainly he knows. Yes, ISSSR, certainly he knows about my work there, right? Obviously. Is he aware of my interest in pre-guitar solo drum fills from rock songs in the mid to late 1970s? I think he probably is. And I don't want to make any accusations, so I'm just going to ask a couple of questions. Is it possible that Paul saw my presentation at an earlier talk? I'm regretting all of these little rock things that I put in there. It's not so fun anymore. Is it possible that he rigged a lineup so that I would go after him and so that he could scoop me instead of me scooping him? And again, just asking questions. Is it possible that Paul stole my ideas? I'm just asking. Does Paul know that I have an album called Some Guys, which is covers of 70s soft rock songs that sound exactly like the originals? Is he aware that on this album I covered the track New Kid in Town by the Eagles, technically just Eagles? He is now, motherfuckers.
Jonathan Coulton.